What is going on, everybody? I'm back with another video, and today I'm reviewing the 5th Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is my second favorite Harry Potter film. One of the biggest reasons is probably because this was the first Harry Potter I actually got to see in theaters. I also think this is one of the most underrated films in the franchise. So let's get started. The director this time is David Yates. He is on board to direct the last 4 films of the franchise. This film is scored by Nicholas Hooper. The film starts out with some nice scenery, and Harry is sitting on a swing. We see Dudley again after skipping an appearance on the last film. This time he's got some friends with him, and they come up to Harry to start making fun of him about how Cedric died and that he has no parents. Harry isn't going to take his crap, so he walks up and threatens him with his wand. Then the sky all of a sudden gets dark and stormy out of nowhere. Dementors show up, and then Harry has to cast the Patronus charm to get them away from not only him, but Dudley, who is a Muggle, non-magic folk. Expecto Patronus! His neighbor happens to see all this happen in the distance and walks them both home. He then receives a magical letter by the Ministry saying that he's been expelled from Hogwarts for using magic outside of school, especially in front of a Muggle, and also while being underage. This of course upsets Harry, as he had no other choice. Harry then gets a special surprise from Mad-Eye Moody and some new characters when they show up at his house. They then leave from there via broom, and there's this nice refreshing flying sequence. He is brought to the headquarters of the Order of the Phoenix. The Order of the Phoenix is a secret society that Dumbledore formed back during the First Wizarding War. Here's where he gets to see his godfather Sirius Black again, as well as Remus Lupin.
Sirius.
Harry learns that the Minister of Magic wants to avoid the truth of Voldemort coming back at any cost. Harry's face is in the Daily Prophet with the headline, "The Boy Who Lies." Sirius informs Harry that he believes Voldemort is building up his army again, and that they're attempting to do the same with the Order of the Phoenix. Harry then has to attend a hearing due to using magic outside of school. Dumbledore happens to show up early and manages to get the case dismissed. Also at this hearing is a woman named Dolores Umbridge. This woman changes your life for the worse and is easily the most hated character in the Harry Potter franchise. She happens to be this year's Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and you'll learn this is a big mistake. As soon as they get onto the Hogwarts grounds, they are about to get on one of the carriages, and Harry sees something he's never seen before. A black-like skeletal horse pulling the carriage. During this scene, we get introduced to one of my favorite characters in this series, Luna Lovegood. She is a Ravenclaw and is a very down-to-earth person. She explains to Harry that she can see these horses too.
You're not going mad. I can see them too. You're just as sane as I am.
They're called Thestrals, and later on in the movie, she tells him that you can only see them if you've seen death, which is why Hermione and Ron couldn't see them. So back to Professor Umbridge. She doesn't teach the class anything useful when it comes to defending themselves. She thinks there's no reason to be using or practicing spells in her classroom. This causes Harry to bring together a bunch of fellow students so he can teach them and form what's called Dumbledore's army. While they're desperately trying to find a place to practice defensive spells, Neville Longbottom discovers the secret room called the Room of Requirement. This room only appears when a person has real need of it, and is always equipped with a seeker's needs. This turns out to be the perfect place for practice, and this is exactly what they start doing. It's very cool to see Harry teach all these people defensive spells, as he is the one with the most experience. A little after this, Harry has his first kiss with Cho Chang under a mistletoe, which I think is really pointless because this is the only thing that'll ever happen between these two characters. Harry starts having hallucinations or dreams about people like Arthur Weasley and Sirius Black getting hurt, but he has them in a first-person view, which is very odd, so he goes to Dumbledore for help. We realize something is seriously wrong with Harry once we see this scene.
Look at me!
A very tense scene. Dumbledore is just as surprised as us viewers. Professor Snape then tells Harry he believes there is a connection between Voldemort's mind and his own. Snape then attempts to enter Harry's mind using a spell to train his head to resist anything trying to take control of him. Umbridge later finds out where the Room of Requirement is because they had Cho Chang tell them. She brings this news to Dumbledore and he takes full blame as it is called Dumbledore's army and not Potter's army. The Minister attempts to take him to Azkaban. Then this is what happens.
I have no intention of going to Azkaban.
Enough of this. Take him!
In other news, Hagrid becomes close with the full-size giant and tries to protect him from siding with Voldemort. Umbridge later on is trying to interrogate Harry, slaps him, and even tries to use one of the forbidden curses on him. Harry, Ron, and Hermione manage to trick Umbridge into coming to the Forbidden Forest, and the Centaurs take her away, thank God. Harry gets a sense in his mind that Sirius Black is in danger, so him, Ron, Hermione, Luna, Neville, and Ginny all go to London via Thestrals. When they get to the Hall of Prophecy, they manage to find Harry's. The prophecy says that neither one can live while the other survives. The Dark Lord had made Harry his equal, meaning one of them is gonna have to kill the other in the end. Immediately after discovering this, they are attacked by Death Eaters, and we meet Bellatrix Lestrange, Sirius Black's cousin, who also just escaped from Azkaban. She had tortured Neville Longbottom's parents and killed them in the past. The Death Eaters then capture all of Harry's friends to threaten him to give over the prophecy. The Order of the Phoenix shows up and gave them a good fight until Bellatrix kills Sirius Black. A pretty moving scene. Harry's so angry, runs after her, and even casts the Cruciatus Curse, not even realizing it. She flees while Voldemort appears. Dumbledore then shows up out of nowhere and fights Voldemort, and gives this mind-blowing scene. Easily one of the best scenes in a Harry Potter movie. We find out Voldemort is possessing Harry, then Harry wins his mind over by telling Voldemort that he's never experienced love or friendship. Also a very moving scene. Voldemort is then extracted out of Harry's body, and then the Minister of Magic witnesses Voldemort for just a second, and says,
He's back.
Overall, a very entertaining movie, lots of new elements to it, lots of new characters, lots of new storytelling. Very great movie. This concludes the end of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Next, I'll be reviewing Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.